start. Hey, what's up, guys? I know it's a little quiet. I'll turn up a little bit. So I'm a little bit further from the mic. Welcome to Project Giro Bishop here, video podcast. Looking down here, there's the thumbnail, of course, and all this stuff right here. Okay, I'm gonna try to make a good thumbnail, but anyways, there's not a whole lot I can do about that because it's mostly stuff on the floor and it's too much to carry by hand. But that's the thumbnail. That being said, of course, this is going to cover, I guess, stuff that I didn't consider, kind of hidden on the side that needs to be moved out. Has to do with bags and more packaging. But first of all, as usual, how's your day going? What's your main highlight? What's your main frustration? I'll pop that over onto the YouTube comments, Reddit, or Discord. If you have other options, you can always bring suggestions. I'm always open to suggestions. Okay, so the first thing, what's your day? How's your day? What's the main highlight? Second, what's your frustration? Something you want to vent about? Again, it doesn't have to be too private, and if you don't have anything negative, you don't have to talk about it. And the third one is just to throw a meme to lighten up everything, the atmosphere. If you like something funny, or tell a joke, or you can swap that out and just say, something relatable regarding stuff that we're doing in this video, which we're going to get to pretty much right now after some basic stuff. Again, the other thing I had to mention, slice of life in real life put together, domains of life like finance, relationships, employment, stuff like that. And then there's self-improvement, psychiatry, content, right? All that kind of interesting stuff, AI. And we're just putting it all together to create this Gramps slice of real life, because I do feel somewhat like a retired grandfather. It's very weird experience to be experiencing. And whatever I'm doing here, I'm just sharing with you, just as you would share in the comments. So let's do that. And what I have to share in this particular video, okay, so let's begin, is something that I have to do today that I didn't really think of. So I've been thinking about moving a certain crate in the very backdrop, and I noticed you can't see that, but let's see. I can't even put it on the floor because it might dirty the bottom of the crate or the barrel. But basically, there's blue crate on that side behind my bench. I can barely see it. There you go. You can see it now. Hold on, my thumb has to go the opposite direction. Right behind my bench, directly behind my bench. No wonder why I can't see it. There. And that barrel, unfortunately, that crate, what I'm supposed to do is put food inside, no matter remaining food. I have very little food right now, obviously. I try to clear everything. It's just some preservatives, non-perishable foods. So that kind of food, I have, it's still downstairs. Can't really grab it right now at the moment. So that kind of blocks me from bringing that out. But the main thing is the barrel actually just doesn't fit inside that cart. So that blue barrel, it's circular and rounded. And I was thinking, it's just the circumference is just enough that I can fit in the cart, but I'm wrong, it cannot. And there was a real chance that it wouldn't, I knew. So I tried it yesterday, it doesn't fit, and that changes things up a little bit, because that's just really fucking annoying. Because if you think about that, how am I going to lug that around unless I get a mover, unless I rent out a vehicle or something like that? So something that I really can't do easily, even in transit. It's questionable. People see me carrying a blue barrel like that. It's like, what you got in there? Methamphetamines? It's like, so it's like a Breaking Bad barrel. It's like one of those like chemical cartons, barrels, crates. So what we do is we considered what else we can move at the same time. Now, of course, it turns out I just checked the weather. It's kind of rainy where I'm living right now. Isolated showers, they can say, it's like on and off, cloudy skies. You can't really predict when it's going to start raining, and if it does, probably could be a drizzle, could be a little bit heavier. You don't really know. Don't know what time it's going to be. So that makes it more difficult, obviously, if I'm going to transfer stuff over to storage. And so I've been thinking, what can I do though if I do? And that's what I was thinking about that last night. I wasn't even thinking about the weather. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to lug the barrel with me. The alternative was, of course, what else can I carry? And so I said, there's a lot of stuff left. It's like 25%. So I decided to look around the room more carefully, more detailed way. And on the side, I'm going to move the camera now. So this is the right hand side. There were all these wires here, you can see up here, that were pulled or strewn across the back of the table, standing desk, and the extension cords. So they were sitting on top of what's over here now, all on the floor. So you can tell there's a lot of stuff, and that's why I couldn't hold on to it. Usually my thumbnail, I try to pick it up and show you visually what we're gonna cover before we go in detail. So we'll just have to cover them kind of like this with the camera. But basically there's a crate here, was over there, and that's where the extension cords were sitting on top of. That's where the support was coming from. And then we also have down here on top of the crate was this fan. I'll bring it closer later. And then this bin, this basket, not a bin, basket with gear inside as well as books that I'm gonna take away. So that's stuff that I just kind of did not anticipate for. And then on the very back, of course, there's the blue barrel, but on top of the blue barrel, the blue crate, chemical crate, was this, which is my gear for rollerblading. I don't obviously rollerblade right now. It's a pretty dire situation, I would say, comparably. And then there's an umbrella in there, but basically there's just some gear. So that's kind of stuff that I think I want to cover briefly. We already covered them in detail in videos a long time past, so we don't have to do it in detail now. It's just mostly the logistics. So if I pull that crate closer, I think that's the main highlight when I talk about in this video. We've got this Honeywell fan. Okay, bought this actually fairly recently. I would say only about, hold on a second. Whoa. Sorry guys, the screen just kind of went dead for a moment because I bumped into it. But this Honeywell fan, I can't remember what it cost, probably like $30 or something like that, 25. And I thought it would get really hot here. I might need it. Turns out I didn't use it at all. But this is something that might be useful as I go into my new place. So that's one thing. Put this on the side. Got it from Walmart. That's if you want to think about it. I think you've seen that kind of model before. It's a very simple fan. Okay. Next on the floor is this crate. I'm not going to cover in any real detail because it's just, I can't carry this, but I'll move the camera closer. So inside there's all this paper. Paper packaging, plastic packaging. And inside the crate is another crate. And inside that crate is some actual stuff. Now, I'm not going to go in detail on what that is, but I can see that there's like a little binder. Lots of plastic bags. And I know that in there's also construction material. So, not construction material, but interior decoration type stuff. But I'm not talking about like frills and like doilies. I'm not talking about like crafts. I'm talking about, you know, handiwork, right? So if you're going to install a metal hanger outside your door, or maybe a shelving unit attached to the wall, that's, for example, what's actually over there, inside there, just decompartmentalized. And okay. So that crate is actually unfortunately kind of full. It has a little bit of space. I was thinking if I could put something else inside, that'd make things a little bit more intelligent. I could be moving a little bit more than whatever I think I can move. So, but there's only about 10 centimeters, maybe less, maybe like 7 centimeters of height worth of space. So yeah, that's that. So that's the crate that has to go. I think obviously this one will definitely fit inside the carts, and I think that trolley is going to take this out. Now again, it's just complicated because, you know, I really still think I should have brought the barrel out and moved it with me first. I just don't know how I'm going to do that right now. I don't really want to wait for the moving vehicle to come, whether it's from my friend's van, my mutual friend's van, or from, say, a rented U-Haul vehicle. That should be reserved, I believe, for the office desk, as well as the mattress, and potentially the bed frame. Although the bed frame I think I can take with me by hand if I fold it up, because I will need that. I will need that before I go. Yeah. What else? Right, the standing desk, the office desk. Actually, standing desk and office desk. Standing desk on top of the office desk, way too heavy. Cannot put that inside there to carry with me. It'd just be way too difficult. Way too heavy. Sorry. So that's what else has to go. All right, so let's cover the last thing. I mean, but those are not being moved until after we take a video, of course, of this stuff. So what I'm gonna do is cover the remaining stuff down here in the basket here. It's quite a bit of a mixed bag, I guess you could say. But here's close-up shot. I know there's some red paper towels in there. Napkins. You can get rid of that for the side. But basically, I'll turn over here. We have some gear. This is the Muterlin gear. Okay, so I already talked about this before. It's like I made a little meme joke. I said it's like AOT ODM gear. It's not ODM gear, guys. It's just like for the wallet and side pockets. If you have wear a jacket in the spring, a spring jacket doesn't have hollow pockets or anything. You may wear a t-shirt or something like that. Although I would suggest you don't do that because this would really stand out. Unless you really want to be that kind of standout, different, edgy kind of person, I suggest you don't wear this out. There are other reasons you might want to wear stuff like that. Of course, if you're actually concerned about carrying more stuff with more pockets, I guess you could do that. But again, you just end up looking somewhat like a lunatic, like I do. I mean, look at all the gear on top of me. Like, I obviously do this because I would disorder, and it's something that I just genuinely like, and at the same time dislike. It's kind of a weird contrast. So I would say it's not healthy. I'm not doing this because I want it and I don't want it. You know, it's kind of weird. I don't suggest anybody do that, really, unless you're going to some sort of, unless within context, you're going to Halloween or something like that, you know. We can go to Halloween now. So we have these clamps here as well. These are from the photo shoot backdrop stand that I've taken apart. So this stuff comes down. We have a scarf here. Yeah. What else? We have, well, this should actually belong. So the clamp should go along with the photo booth stuff. It's inside storage now. But I was being an idiot. I didn't actually take out, I took the package that was supposed to be preserved for the rods and the photo booth and for the clamps, and I unfortunately shelved it away in one of those boxes. So that was a dumb mistake I made, but basically I don't have the compartment for this, so it's here. Which is fine. This basket is just kind of right now for a bunch of many different little things. We also have in here like a back belt. I mentioned this is in the workplace. We covered this in more detail, gory detail, how we attached all these little gadgets and trinkets and wires and stuff onto it. But again, it's not something that it shouldn't belong here, honestly. This basket's actually for books that I use for morning routine. The morning routine regimen usually involves reading, narrating, accents, and learning, as well as weightlifting and some calisthenics. So that's kind of what that's supposed to be. Books are used for that, actually. It's kind of weird to use books as weights. It shows you how weak I am, though, by the way. Like, we're supposed to get to a point where we use actual weights. And then there's a bin, plastic bag here for something else too. I believe for the Acknowledgement. Should have used this instead for that. I didn't realize it was here. So that's kind of mostly what's inside this bin and basket, sorry. There's also a couple books here, so I should mention what they are. Armageddon, How Too Much of a Good Thing Leads to Disaster by Bill Bonner. I would say that's kind of what's happened recently in the past couple of years. Too much of a good thing led to disaster. It's like one of those like universal law principles, kind of like the Pareto rule, the 80-20 Pareto rule. We have something far more practical. This is the be prepared for any emergency that comes your way. St. John's Ambulance Saving Lives at Work, Home, and Play First Aid Reference Guide. Obviously, that stuff is, I took CPR, so that's what that's all about. And this is something that was gifted to me. I don't know how much I like something like this, but this is for, this is when I was actually going undercover, like, to learn about what these MLMs see, what kind of shady tactics they employ, so that I can sort of be immune to that myself. I think, you know, whenever you face a difficult circumstance or slimy, deceitful behavior, the best thing you can do is actually learn about it. So at least you understand what sort of tactics and strategies they use, so that you yourself know how to divert and avoid and prevent yourself from falling into it. It's kind of like, when you're a kid and you play, here's a personal example, right? When I used to play a game called RuneScape, I always go back to this analogy because you learn a lot from some of these RPG or role-playing games, because they represent a microcosm of society, really. But basically, there was something called luring back in the day. So some hostile players would basically take pleasure in luring. They bait you into the wilderness. Now, of course, if you're an idiot and decide to follow through with that, it's definitely you played a role in your own demise. But you go into this wilderness where players can kill each other and take each other's belongings. So you become the spoils of someone who lured you in, although you were a dumbass to go through with it. So it's like one of those lessons, harsh lessons, and that you learn directly through experience. Now this one here, obviously, I wouldn't say I was like lured in, because I obviously went in deliberately trying to learn about it. But I will say that it was still an experience. I'd say it's a direct experience. You go into it knowing that there's some sort of danger and risk, and you'll learn about the environment and the associated tactics and the things that may be used towards you in the future. So it's definitely something that is, I believe, useful. So that's what this book's about. I know I went in a little bit more than I had to. I think it explains a little bit more, because obviously I don't think anyone should join an MLM, in my perspective. Now, I will say that, of course, this company is actually not that bad when it comes to the other ones, because the fact is the person who gave me this is coming from a company that actually has integrity. It's just the fact that the MLM scene itself is really quite horrible. So what I'm going to do now is going to put this down and talk about something that's actually kind of important. Or is it important? I don't know what it is. This is something... Let's just say this carries a lot of memories. I'll put it down. Wow. Yeah. I'm not even going to cover it. Okay, so, but the fact that I showed it says a lot, though, in itself, because I know what it means for me. Some things don't have to be discussed. If I do want to, this is almost worthy of its entire own video. So I'm not going to cover this right now. And but it is here, and I'm going to take it with me. So that's that. That's the only thing that I will say about that. Last thing, of course, the gear. I feel, I don't really want to pick it up, but why? Might as well do it before this video ends, right? Shit. The chain fell down. It's always one of those metal things that creates too much noise for my pleasure. So we have this. This is the... Damn, I wish I had here. This is a great piece of equipment here. See this? This could be a far better thumbnail. Look at this thing. It's crazy. It's super cool and whatnot, but the main point is actually it's a protective piece of gear for you if I fall on the back. This is actually for the back side right here for the rollerblade. So this is Hero Biker's protective back cover when you're rollerblading. You've got the sides here with the arms and everything. It's got inside, it's got a breathable mesh, right? Covers the arms, the sleeves go all the way through, covers your thumbs. And of course on top of it with just some stuff that I'm supposed to be inside a luggage bag. And the umbrella, which of course today I'm going to be, it's going to be rain. Last thing. Sorry, not the last thing. There's this stuff here. It's like a kneecap here. I usually carry with me on the side. And over there, on the farthest side over there, you see something covered on top of the black bag where my finger is right now. That's a shoebox that's empty, so I didn't realize, but there are some dress shoes here that I should consider seriously. Even though it's a class 2 item, I mentioned about class 2 items before. I don't think I have to do it again. I'm pretty I should actually, because what the hell do you know what a class 2 item is? You're not gonna sift through 1,000 videos to figure out what that is, but it's an item that comes from okay. But basically that kind of item is something that I might keep. It's something that I think is it's not all bad. A little bit of a souvenir, but also something that's actually practical, and that's the most important thing. It's useful. So yeah, I think it's very hard to find good dress shoes, personally speaking, so that's why. With that being said, I think that covers everything that I have to move, that I could potentially move out right now. I don't know if exactly that's what's gonna happen. And here's something else that's really important that I gotta move away now. So yesterday I brought back, this was very annoying actually, I brought back this wallet. Oh, I can cover this in the next video. So, but basically I brought this back because I had to do I forgot that there was something really important, 2 important things that are really important that I needed to do, and it required some really important ID. So obviously this is the other wallet that we'll discuss about. This is the other wallet that has information that obviously should be placed securely. So we'll get to that in the next video. That's a good cliffhanger. I think we'll leave it off at that. 21 minutes in. Thanks for tuning in. Again, how's your day? Leave in the post below, all that kind of stuff. And of course, what I think the plan is, I forgot to mention, the game plan I have to move this cart inside, this box inside this crate inside that cart. And I don't know if we can fit that bin on top, but if we can, maybe we can put the bin with the gear on top, but we'll have to put it inside we'll have to throw it inside a black plastic bag to make it go. In that case, it'd be kind of a waste anyways, so it's a lot to think about. But anyways, we'll fit it inside somehow. And then the rollerblading gear, it's possible that we can just leave that here for now. We may need it. We might still rollerblade possibly in the last couple of days. That's kind of weird, but yeah, I don't know. And I think it's kind of stupid idea, honestly. I don't even have my knee pads here. Maybe I should just move it away. I don't know. You can tell I'm kind of debating a lot of things right now. Because I had different plans. I thought the crate would fit inside the cart. It doesn't. So yeah, that's it. So that's for this one. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna record the next video immediately, but it'll be posted the next day. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to the Spotify listeners or people popping in by. The regular listeners for some reason keep returning. I really appreciate that. Here's the support graphic, whatever. Let's turn over to the back side here. See you guys next one. Peace out.